Hi, I'm Walker&Williams, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour of number 12 Bairstow Street. We've got the project up the road at 21 Bairstow Street. That's good news for builders because they like building but they don't like walking. But today we're concentrating on number 12 Bairstow Street. There was a crack which you can still see in the corner there. We've found out what's causing this huge crack. It's a tree. It was a former care home. It was empty and derelict for 7 years. We've acquired this property and we're now converting it into self-contained apartments. As you walk through the front door of number 12 Bairstow Street, the first thing you're greeted by is this wall. It looks like that this wall is made of stone or block, but in actual fact it's completely fake. It's been plastered and then it's been stamped to give this block effect on the wall. The plaster is actually only about 1 inch deep, and then it's been wallpapered with a wood chip wallpaper, something that was very popular 10-20 years ago, but is now not so much. So we'll be completely stripping all this back and having a beautiful, smooth, plastered wall. You can see here where we're blocking this doorway up. You can just see how thick the block actually is. It's just 1 inch thick plaster, and then again it's just been stamped to look like stone. As always, we're going to be looking to restore and retain as much of the original features as we possibly can. And we're really lucky here at 12 Bairstow Street because we've got these beautiful original features, and under this stunning archway you have this lovely detail of the oak leaves. Unfortunately, on the opposite side, somebody at some point has installed the door frame which is cut straight through the detail. So what we'll have to do is get a mould made of that one and get this replaced like for like to match the opposite side. So we're first greeted by the front door of what will be apartment number 1. As you can see, it's got the door frame going in, and in that is the routed joint for the intermittent strip for the fire door. If you want to know more about intermittent strips and fire doors, have a look at the video that we did at number 21 Bairstow Street by clicking the link in the description. As you come into the hallway of apartment 1, it's quite narrow, as you can see, and we wanted somewhere for people to be able to kick off their shoes, muddy trainers, boots and that sort of thing. So we've designed this little bit of storage here. So as you come in through the front door, you can kick your boots and shoes off, keep them stored out of the way and keep it neat. There will be an LED strip installed above here just to illuminate them so you can see your shoes at night. This also serves 2 purposes. If we go around to the other side into the bedroom, I'll show you the other purpose. So the second reason for the shoe storage is that the bed will be here and it serves as a bedside table. So there'll be double sockets being installed here, and then you'll be able to have your bedside lamp, your phone on charge and anything else you want to have next to your bed. And then there'll also be one the other side with the bed sat inside. So it's a dual purpose item, space saving and practical. From the bedroom area, we walk over to where the ensuite is going to be. As you can see, the stud wall's been introduced to house the ensuite, and the water pipes and the electric are just being run up to the ensuite now. The shower tray's been delivered. It's a great size shower tray. It's 1000 by 700, so it's 1000 millimeters by 700 millimeters, or 1 meter by 70 centimeters. From the bedroom, we walk back across through the corridor and into the main living room and kitchen area. It's a pretty big room with a great large bay window with beautiful original stained glass. Over to our right will be the kitchen, and it'll wrap around from the corner and go across where the chimney breast is, and to the left will be the sofa overlooking the TV on the opposite wall. As you can see, the ceiling has been suspended, so that means that we're dropping the ceiling and putting a new ceiling in, and it's being boarded. It hasn't actually been boarded yet, which means we can still see all the pipe work and behind the scenes of how everything works. So you can see the 8-inch black pipe there is the waste pipe that will connect all the way through the building to the en-suites above. Next to those, you've got the thin water pipes, the white ones, that return all the cold water back to the boiler and back up to the radiators and the taps with the hot water. Next to those, you'll see a mass of cables, and they all do different things. So the thick black and the thick grey cables are for electricity. The red cable is for the hardwired fire alarm. And then the small thin cables, like these ones, are Ethernet cables that will run to the TVs so they can be smart and connected to the internet. So this property has a pretty sizable basement that we're looking to utilise as communal space for the 6 apartments. We'll be using it as a laundry. The problem with the basement, like most basements in the UK, is that it's damp. To sort this out, we're going to tank the basement, which means installing this 8mm plastic membrane. Imagine this is the basement wall. We install the plastic membrane against the wall, which means that any water that comes through this wall hits the plastic membrane, runs down the gaps in between the bumps, runs down to the floor, hits plastic on the floor, and then runs down into the drain and drains away. If you don't have a drain in your basement, then you have to install a pump, and that pump will pump the water away to safety. So if you imagine this is the basement wall, then you have the plastic membrane up against the wall like that, then you board this side with a space, insulation, plasterboard, plaster, then paint. As you come down the corridor from apartment number 1, you're greeted by the door of what will be apartment number 2. Some load-bearing walls have been removed from this apartment, so for right now we've got these supports up to give the ceiling a bit more support whilst we wait to reinstate the 2 load-bearing walls. To the right of me we'll create a little closet for your coats, boots and that sort of thing, and then to the left of me we'll have the dining area. Past that we walk into the living room. We'll have a sofa on the back wall here looking at the TV across the wall, and then we're greeted by this chimney breast. It's not the best looking thing in the world, it looks like it's falling over. It's clearly a later addition. You can tell this because it's got these common bricks that are machine cut. So you can see each one is absolutely identical to the next one, and that tells us it's been cut by a machine and not by hand. The blue X on the chimney breast is a mark to tell the demolition guys that this chimney breast is to be removed. Once it's removed, it will be removed all the way through up to the ceiling and in the apartment above. From the living room, we come into what will be the kitchen and then onto the bedroom. It's very, very important when you're buying a property to make sure you get a structural survey. When we bought this property, this room was plastered, it was a kitchen, and it looked great. Once we've knocked the plaster away, revealed this massive crack. As you can see, this and the sinking ceiling means that this whole backwater is falling away from the building. We're going to have to take this whole backwater down and rebuild it up safely. It also means that we're going to have to check the foundations and make sure they're safe to build on. So it's really, really worth making sure you do your due diligence when you're buying a property, because something like this could end up costing you tens of thousands of pounds. It's never great when you can stick your whole hand inside your house. We've now stripped it back further and we've found out what's causing this huge crack. And believe it or not, it's a tree. So this is an external wall. There's nothing the other side of this wall. So the wall's like this, and then you've got about a 15-foot drop into a car park next door. And there's a tiny little ledge the other side of this wall. And a tree has managed to fertilise on that wall and grown, and it's actually a massive tree. And you can see there, we've cut the tree, and now you can see the base of it, and the roots have pushed all of the bricks apart as the roots have gone looking for more water and food. So, believe it or not, it's a tree that's caused this massive gap. The ceiling that's collapsing at the back of the extension has given us concern that not only is that rotten, but the rot has spread further down the joists of the property. So we've had to expose all the joists by removing the ceiling above us. Luckily, these joists are completely dry, but at the moment, it means that you can see all the way up through the property to the roof. From the kitchen, we walk through to what will be the bedroom with ensuite. We're going to put a beautiful wet room effect, shower, ensuite, toilet, basin in this room, and then this whole room will be the bedroom. This apartment is a bit smaller than what we're used to, so we're going to try something we've never done before in this apartment, and that is introducing a mezzanine floor. So above this doorway here, there'll be a floor introduced that's made from wood, and above that will be the bedroom. It won't be for everybody, but for the right person, this apartment will be truly amazing. Once this chimney breast and this wall has been removed, you'll go through, there'll be a kitchen on the far wall with the bathroom just to the right of it, and then in this centre portion of the apartment will be the living accommodation. Living room, TV and that sort of thing. From below, where we talked about removing the chimney breast is here and continues up through to the roof. So this will be removed, and then downstairs will be removed. We're now on the top floor of number 12 Bairstow Street, and we're at apartment number 6. As we come into the apartment, on the left you'll see the light switch for the apartment, so you're not walking into the dark, and you'll also see a much thinner wire. This connects down to the intercom on the ground floor, so you don't have to travel down 3 flights of stairs to let somebody in. You can see them on the intercom and buzz them in if you want them to come in. Apartment 6 is a great shape. It's got this pitch roof, and as always, we're going to be exposing the trusses. Bit of damage on the truss behind me just here. That was from the previous owner. We're going to be creating a piece of wood, installing that in the gap, and then blending it in, so you won't be able to tell that there was any damage there previously. To my right, we've got the wall built for the ensuite. Behind me is the kitchen, and just behind the camera there is where the bedroom will be. The kitchen's going to be running along this wall here, and the reason that's handy for us is because the other side of this wall is the ensuite. So we can split the pipes, water, waste, and we're not having to run one all the way over that side of the room and one all the other way the other side of the room. They're all in the same location, just opposite sides of the wall. The other thing you'll notice in the kitchen is we've got this natural light pouring in through the Velux window above me. We're actually planning, and we've got planning permission for, installing 3 full-length Velux windows just on the wall, on the roof here, and 2 more further down. So once finished, the natural light in this apartment is going to be absolutely phenomenal. The other thing is you'll be able to see out of the apartment. I think it's really important for people's mental health and for their enjoyment of the apartment that they can see out, because it might not sound like a big thing, but if you've ever lived in a room where you can't, although you have natural light, you can't actually see any sky, anything other than sky, it actually has a massive effect on your mental health. So there's going to be plenty of natural light, but also you'll be able to see out and see what's going on in the outside world. On the wall behind me, we've just got the plans of what the kitchen will look like. So that's what the guys work off when they're installing the kitchen, so they know which units go where the sink sits, and that sort of thing. In any apartment, storage is absolutely key. So we're trying to maximise as much of the space as we can, and it's been quite tricky because we have got the pitch roof, maximising the space so that people have plenty of storage. So this kind of looks hard to work out at the moment because it is just the skeletons of the wall, but effectively you've got a cupboard here that will have double doors as you walk through to the ensuite. And the reason we have this arrangement and then that arrangement is because you can have your shirts hung this way, so you can go through your shirts, facing them, and they're the right height, and also quite easy to access because it's really wide, so you can see side on to the shirts at the back. And then around the side you have another piece of another cupboard here, and in this one there'll be shelving at the back for socks, pants, shoes, that sort of thing. And then at the front, if you don't use that space or you're looking for more storage, then this will be just freestanding space for your hoover, ironing board, anything like that, and you can just chuck it away and close the door so it's not on view. And then behind me, where the pitch goes down and meets the wall, you can see it's not really usable space for living accommodation. Where the steel bars are, that's where the wall will end. We'll have a stud wall there, and then from about the truss here back will be storage all the way along, with the bed sat just off the truss there, going into the room with side tables either side. The property currently has natural light in the stairwell, and that's created by this glass pods that we have here and the Velux window above it. At the moment, that Velux window is a shut window, so it doesn't open, it's just fixed into place. The natural light comes through the window, through this glass on top of the pod here, and into the stairwell below. Part of planning permission and building regs, because these are apartments over 3 floors, you have to have an automatic opening smoke vent. What that means, we have to remove this existing glass panel, build this wall up so that the people in this apartment can't interfere with the automatic opening smoke vent, and then replace that fixed window with a Velux window that's got a motor on it. If the fire alarm goes off, that motor automatically opens the window, allowing any smoke that's being built up in the stairwell to escape through the roof. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tour of number 12 Bairstow Street. If you found it informative, please give it a like, and if you've got any questions whatsoever, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll try and reply to you. We're going to be finishing this property soon, and I will do another video to show you the end result, and I'd really love you to see it, especially that mezzanine floor that we're trying for the first time.